Sunday here in Salt Lake City. An even more beautiful scene inside the Huntsman Center. Ready for some Pac-12 women's hoops between number 7 Utah and the visiting Washington State Cougars. The starters for the Cougs go like this. Tara Wallach as well as Charlie's Leisure Walker in the guard spots with Johanna Tadar and then Ula Matuga and Bella Murikatete. Wind out the starting 5 for Washington State. A team with 4 seniors, and on the other side for the Utes, they'll start things off with this Izzy Palmer. This will be her 11th start on the year. Gianna Neefkins in the guard spot, as well as Kennedy McQueen.
Charlie Sledger Walker requires so much attention when she has the ball in her hands or when she doesn't have it.
The pink unis for the Utes. It is the Power in Pink game, and we're underway. The Cougs get the tip. They've got some length and some size that you don't see throughout the entire conference. That shot just a little bit flat for Ledger Walker.
Well, I think it will be interesting to see the energy level for Washington State after suffering a loss to Colorado where they led by 9 entering the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're right. Up by 9 going into that fourth quarter, but a tough one for them. They didn't quite get to the free throw line as well. They didn't quite shoot as well as Colorado. They did make 9 threes in the game, though. But a tough one when they led pretty much the entire way. It is so difficult to go to Boulder and face the Buffs, though, on the road. And using the screen, Ledger Walker takes it up good.
Left hand, right hand, mid-range, step back. She has every trick that you can pull out.
Yeah, an excellent screen up high, and she uses it as Neepkin's shot was on the mark, but short as Pili tries to save it and does. It's batted around, tipped around, and bodies on the court, and the Cougs will hold up and wait for their teammates to catch up. Good hustle by Washington State, forcing the turnover. Murikatete, the mid-range jumper is good. It was fun talking with the senior out of Rwanda before the game, but loving her game.
Yeah, she said it's so beautiful here in Salt Lake City. She's like, it's not quite the same as Rwanda, the country of 1,000 hills.
As Pili gets the first 3 for Utah. 16 made threes in their win Friday against Washington. That's Murikatete again. She had a double-double last time. This time dips the shoulder.
She's going to find the right answer offensively. Pili shooting 43% from the three-point line as the Pac-12's leading scorer.
Yep, she had a few of them the other night.
It's because everybody else was going off.
But everybody else, 7 different players hitting at least 1 3. And the turnover there, Jenna Johnson able to take it away.
And Kennedy McQueen already coming out, hitting that 3 ball for the Utes. She had 20 in the game against Washington State and Pullman.
Pili, triple team. How'd she get that one to go? Shooter's touch. She got a little push and some help on that one.
She is listed at 6'2", and she's not 6'2". It doesn't matter.
Player that Coach Etheridge says has really improved, but still working on the 3. They'd love to incorporate that more as Ledger Walker and Bella Murikatete working together.
What a find from Ledger Walker. The defense all concerned with her playmaking for her teammate.
That shot off the mark. Touching the sideline, out of play. It's going to go the other way.
These are the number 1 and number 2 scorers in the Pac-12 conference, exchanging early blows for their team.
Yeah, you read my mind, the eyes in the back of her head. I mean, it's not easy to see around. Pili inside. Pili gets a rest as that jumper on the baseline is good. Tara Wallach, she's averaging about 10 points a game, the sophomore from South Surrey, Canada.
I think she definitely will be on that list for most improved players in the Pac-12 conference. She has been a real difference maker for Cammy Etheridge and the Cougs.
8 points on Friday in the win against Washington. 5 boards, couple of threes for her. She was part of that action. She had that mid-court make right at halftime.
And when you're behind the half-court line, shouldn't it count for 4?
Right? I think so. Well, we can maybe work on that. Cougs on a roll here, shooting well, 67%, 4 for their last 5 shots. So they're finding the offense, and that is really key. Here's Clark, who's checked in. Up on the left wing, long rebound, another chance.
And Jessica Clark has added a lot for Washington State. She had 12 points against Colorado. Did not play due to injury in their first matchup.
Yeah, 6 boards for her as well in Boulder, and just taking her eyes off of her for a minute. Tadar.
As Sarah Tahina comes in out of Kosovo. A true freshman has really made an impact.
She certainly has. She got the 4 starts. 4 games were missed by Charlize Ledger-Walker, and it was Tuhina who got the starts. And Coach Etheridge said they were thrilled with how she just stepped right in and got it done. And McQueen getting it done behind the arc there.
Her second made 3 here in the first quarter.
Hezzy there from Tuhina. Shot clock down to 5. The baseline drive, no good. Good transition D from Washington State. They knew that would be important in this game. Neepkins on the drive, takes it up good.
And that was right through the defense of Tara Wallach, who has been so stellar on that end of the floor.
I felt like last year there were a lot of young teams, a lot of new faces. This year's probably one of the most competitive I've seen in quite some time.
Well, I just think the depth of the conference, where you have teams that are in the 8th and 9th spot in the conference standings who have a legitimate chance to make a run and make it to the NCAA tournament as an at-large bid. And you just don't see that in other conferences. It's the #1 net-rated conference in America.
Yeah, it certainly is, as the Cougs try to go into Clark, but good hustle on the O boards. That was Tuhina keeping that alive.
And Utah on a 7-0 run. Wazoo out of the timeout, needed that.
Stare at Tuhina. Coach Etheridge said, we saw what she could do when Charlize Ledger-Walker wasn't with us. We want to see her continue that. Don't take a back seat. Keep bringing that kind of game as Neepkins goes up and under good. Utes 6 for the last 8 shots. They were on a run as the high post shot goes.
And she has been a real boost for Cami Etheridge and the Cougs. Scoring, rebounding, just a post that can shoot a jumper.
Switching D, McQueen kicks it out. That's Kelsey Reese who's checked in, the sophomore from Adelaide, Australia.
Hey, Utah fans, let's welcome back onto the floor.
Alissa Pili, we talked about this in Friday's game, really has to start to be considered as a player of the year candidate. It's going to depend on kind of what happens probably the rest of the way. There's still some regular season games, but what she's done has just been remarkable.
Leading the conference in scoring, she's just so good at finding ways to get to the cup, to step back, and she's making really good reads. And the fact that she's surrounded by shooters, I chatted with her briefly before the game, and she's like, it's great playing in this offense with those shooters all around me. I have a lot of room to work.
Yeah, she's not afraid to just dish it off and get the assist number also. As Neepkins' lefty finger roll, no good. Back to her, the O board, and she gets fouled.
Yeah, that is a big foul against Charlize Ledger-Walker, because as an offensive player, you want the freedom to get into the paint and not have to worry about an offensive foul. And certainly defensively, Charlize Ledger-Walker, one of the best perimeter defenders in the Pac-12 as well. And now you cannot take any chances, and Cami Etheridge letting her play. And we have seen that throughout this season.
Oh, great positioning there. Ledger-Walker with the putback. They're right in this one, within 3. 4 points for CLW, I like to call her.
Makes it a little bit easier. The double last name. You need a nickname.
Exactly. We'll have to find that out before the tournament. Palmer on the drive. Got some solid minutes against Washington Friday. Here's Mercatete back on.
She won the Pac-12's Most Improved Player Award last year. Her scoring has increased every year. She's the one that is a real key for them making a run in the Pac-12 tournament, making a run in the postseason.
To start that many games, really, it's just been wonderful to see the evolution of her game coming on. And Cami Etheridge says, hey, she should be a double-double machine all the time.
Give Cami Etheridge a lot of credit.
Yeah, you love to see players putting in that kind of time. I think Alissa Pili, you could say the same, putting in that extra effort and conditioning and training to improve their game, as they're going to call a push-off, I think, on Tadar. Maybe not. Nope, going to stay here. The foul's going to go against Utah, senior from Seattle, 20 in gray for the Cougs. Both teams going to their benches. The shot clock winding down. Mercatete, though, cleans it up. And I know you have donated already, Elise. I'm accumulating the boards. I'm going to make the players work on this.
Yeah, for Washington State, getting a big one right at the end of the first quarter from Bella Mercatete off that O board and getting That basket and an excellent first quarter on the road for Washington State. Just a 1-point game. Utah red hot coming into this game.
Oh, Mercatete running the court. Wow. Just couldn't quite slow herself down enough to finish the shot. But a good look and a nice idea by the Cougs.
You see that potential at 6'3" to run the floor like that.
Oh, really something. Johnson gets it down low and finishes. Give her the assist. First point to the game for Jenna Johnson. Here's Mercatete. Facing up. Spins it in. Uses the backboard.
Takes it right to the rim.
First player to double digits. Mercatete now with 10. 4 of 6 shooting for the senior. White stays out there. 1 of 3 freshmen for Utah. Pili sealing off Mercatete. And she almost had it over top.
I mean, how strong is she? Extra conditioning she's turned herself into one of the candidates for Pac-12 Player of the Year.
Pretty drive. Good read by Sarah Tuhina. Pili. Somehow it's back in her hands, trying to split the D.
Her legs are, I mean, you look at her,
Powerful.
Just absolute power. The athleticism for Alissa Pili, where if she gets you sealed, it's over. But if she doesn't get you sealed, she's shooting the 3. She's hitting the mid-range jumper. She's shooting her free throws really well. Utah was so red hot on Friday. 16 made threes. They have cooled down a bit here to start against the Cougs.
Shot just short for Sarver there on the outside. She's not a big three-point shooter. They had 17 earlier in the season in non-conference play, but yeah, 16. They were trying to catch it. Johnson, that is pretty. Clark couldn't get out there in time.
And that is a difficult matchup when Jenna Johnson, who's such a good rebounder and tough in the lane, Jessica Clark, the post player, having to get way out and extended.
Oh, pretty. Tara Wallach with the 3 ball.
Just a well-rounded player, the Canadian, averaging double figures in her second year.
Blocked from behind by Matuga. Cougs come down with it. 2 made threes for Washington State. 4 made threes. 4. Make that 3 made threes for Washington State. 4 for Utah, and we are tied up. Young is still on. Here's Peyton McFarland in the high post. She's checked in early in this one. Saw her a little bit in Friday's game. Hadn't seen her in quite some time. Young sticks it. 5 made threes for Utah. 11 attempts for them. Only 5 attempts. A little more accuracy from Washington State. They're 3 of 5 behind the arc as McFarland to the court. She gets it. Oh. But she's also got kind of a funky shot. It's off to the side a bit, and so it sort of protects her sometimes with the defender coming out. Neepkin's back on. Pili as well for Utah. Kira Gardner is on in gray. 12 in gray for the Cougs. And trying to get out, but doesn't. Another one for Young. They've been on a bit of a drought, though, the last 2.5, and they're going to call another offensive foul. And Cami Etheridge is up, frustrated, not happy at all with that one.
I love the intensity of Cami Etheridge. Former National Player of the Year as the point guard of the National Championship winning Texas Longhorns.
Pac-12 Coach of the Year last year, voted on by the media. But yeah, what a competitor she was playing at Texas as Pili gets that one around and in.
Alissa Pili contorting her body again. The defense right in her face, and it does not matter.
She's the first Utah player in double digits. She's got 11. How about another 3? 7 points for Ledger Walker. Her first 3 of the game. Yeah, they were on a drought with scoring. Behind the back, Pili fakes one way, goes the other. One hand, the body control. She's a contortionist. She is a contortionist.
She really is. When she's in Las Vegas for the Pac-12 tournament, is she going to have a side hustle?
You know what?
You can feel they are used to putting big runs together.
Ledger Walker begging for the foul. So is Cami Etheridge. They do not give it to him.
Cami Etheridge with Melissa Barlow standing right next to her, just continues to look for a call.
Melissa Barlow, Chuck Gonzalez, Darren Kershesnik, our trio today as the clock is winding down. Neepkins muffles that one up good. And it's the largest lead of the game for Utah, up by 9. They'll take it in at halftime. Yeah, they got to be happy, though, with the effort on the O board. 6 O boards. They've gotten 7 second-chance points off of them as our third quarter is underway. Glad you could be with us. Some important matchups to finish up the regular season here in the Pac-12 women's basketball regular season. Washington State, they'll head home and face the Oregon schools next weekend, and they have to finish on the road in Los Angeles. And for Utah, they'll leave Arizona schools next weekend. They finish up with the Bay Area schools, but that's all that's left of the regular season. So these final games so important as McQueen gets the takeaway, not giving up on that play. Neepkin's well behind the three-point arc, and it's not falling. Extra effort, Jenna Johnson, another O-board trying to get out of there. So Utah not happy. They only had 1 offensive rebound in the first half, at least. I'm sure that was brought up, it looks like.
Because the defense is completely out of system.
Foul on Tara Wallach, her first personal. Johnson out behind the arc, off the mark. Pili tips it up, keeps it alive. Another offensive board. Palmer around and out.
Try again. They come up empty, and finally the Cougs able to clear the glass.
Nurkatete, good awareness of where she was, where the D was.
Big sequence because Utah kept coming at Washington State and came up short, and Wazoo with the answer on the other end.
Pili and the help D coming in, and now Pili, the frustration reach-in foul.
Her teammate, hey, I am open down here, feed me.
Pili picks up the personal, her first of the ball game. And Ledger Walker, a little miscommunication up top between the guards. She'll get it back. Ledger Walker takes it in. Good read of the D.
Yeah, she went right into the body, felt the contact, faded away. Nice touch off the window. Charlize has so many different shots in her bag that she's really tough to guard.
Yeah. I love what she's done in working on her game, the inside, outside game. Johnson, another chance, can't get it. Long rebound, Utes all over the O boards. The dish inside, and Johnson this time got the angle.
The offensive rebounds are a problem right now for Washington State.
Oh, and trying to push the tempo. She cannot be happy about all the offensive boards the Utes have gotten right now. 4 of them in this quarter.
Well, and long shots equal long rebounds, and so sometimes it's just awkward as a rebounder.
Well, and now a 3. The 7th of the game for Utah. This one to Jenna Johnson. Her second. She's got 10 points.
And a 10-point lead.
Tete going at Reese. Up and under, gets it. Pretty move.
The 6'5" Reese behind her and just found that opening.
And Utah losing it out of bounds now. A turnover.
This is time spent in the gym. Look at Bella, patient and just one little half step. The defense doesn't bite.
Player that when she came in, they won just 9 games. She said now, they're a team with a target on their back a lot of the time, doing something right. And she's definitely done something. That one did everything but drop, but the extra effort, she'll get some free throws. 14 points, trying to add to it. She's got 9 rebounds, and I think half of them are offensive boards. She's been all over the O boards.
And this is another improved area for Bella Nurkatete. She's a 72% foul shooter. Washington State has remained right there within striking distance here midway through the third quarter.
Rebound tipped around again. Pili gets a fingertip on it, and Johnson comes down with it. But over 2 minutes, Utah on a scoring drought. They need a bucket.
Yeah, these offensive rebounds have really hurt Washington State here to start the second half. It feels like every ball off the rim is going to Utah.
It certainly does. They had just 1 O board. There's another one, and they're put back. I think that was a point of emphasis for the Utes at the break. Shot clock down to 3 as Ledger Walker loses it off, runs to the tournament, the NCAA tournament. And she said, that helps me with recruiting, to stay in the U.S. for recruiting as well. I mean, 8 different countries, including the U.S., represented by Washington State. And there's nothing wrong with that, but she's like, sometimes you want to stay here and get somebody from the state of Washington.
Ula says, not on my watch.
So Matuga, just 3 points for her, but 5 boards and an assist. Pili sealing off inside.
Yep.
and guess who? Matuga, the block.
Thought for sure Pili was going to have that bucket. Matuga back-to-back blocks. Cami Etheridge unhappy at the other end with the officials. Not with so much on the line for Utah. We talk about those net rankings and the number 6, where it started and the run to the Pac-12 tournament title game and the NCAA second round. But I mean, it is one of those where each and every game is so crucial. And Utah, for them, they're trying to knock up. They could get a number 1 overall seed if they make a run here. Dasia Young just filling it up today. Her third made 3 of the game. Someone on the scouting report, top 5 scoring team in the nation because they can read the defense and adjust to it.
Played a solid 30 seconds of defense, and then right at the very end, that one extra pass gets it back below double figures. Young off the screen, just trying to find Johnson.
But look, no pink jerseys in the lane right now. Now Pili dives to the hoop.
Yeah, the spacing has been good as she muscles that one up on the left side. So soft.
And finds that way off the top, above the square to drop it in.
15 points for Alissa Pili. Mercatete moving without the ball, and Pili's going to get the foul, and that's going to be her third.
Their percentages go down if you force them to their left.
Mercatete off on the first free throw, 4 of 7 for her. She's got 16 points, trying to add to it. And gets the second to go, but she also draws that third personal on Alissa Pili. Pili's going to stay out there, though. Like the aggressiveness of the senior. Taking it at her.
Pili has just been so good offensively. 6 of 9 from the floor for those 15 points.
Minute and a half left in the third quarter. Cougs not giving up on this one. Neepkins, the and one.
And that's one you need to flex afterwards. If you're Neepkins, and we've seen her do it, I mean, this is a tough take. This is a strong take for the guard that is one of the best three-point shooters in the nation. She gets the contact on Wallach. You can see Wallach throw her hands up in frustration. And for Neepkins, that was a heat seeker. She found the body to complete or to get the three-point opportunity, and such a good foul shooter.
Now the largest lead of the ball game. Utes up by 13.
When everybody around you makes shots, it's pretty easy to rack up 6 assists.
To stay in this game with just under a minute remaining, but they're 1 for their last 7 field goals made. They've really had a tough time getting the offense elsewhere.
And Ledger Walker not shooting with the percentage that we are accustomed to. She's been able to generate points.
Yeah, it was a big focus to start this season for Lynn Roberts and her staff to incorporate a different defensive look for her team, and they had to find a way to make some changes, and they have. Shot clock down. Oh, and at the very last second, a whistle and a foul.
She wanted to avoid the contact and get the shot off.
Wow, that is a tough one to take.
That's a miss right there.
Yep. And
there's a reason why Cami Etheridge is upset on that one.
Yep. And unfortunate for Mercatete picking up that third.
84% foul shooter, 45% from 3, 52% field goal as a guard. That is, I mean, she's really a long ways away from home, but lighting it up for the Utes.
Yep, she definitely is. As the fourth quarter's underway, we'll see if the Cougs can regroup as the shot from Reese won't go. Young was hanging around.
Well, this is where Washington State has to start to make a run. They've got to get some buckets.
Ledger Walker heard you. They list her at 5'10". Young scoops it up and good.
So Young beating him from deep, but then showing how versatile she is with that footwork.
Had 10 Friday against Washington.
Making the defense bite at the pump fake and then the step through.
The transition defense for both teams has really been good in getting back and not allowing a lot of fast break opportunities. Hesitation, Ledger Walker, that time off the mark. Neepkins comes up with it. Pili on the trail. Spins in. Out to Dasia. Off the back of the iron, and a long rebound. Another one for the Utes. Can they make them pay? They do. Assist for Pili. Nothing but net for McQueen.
Those offensive rebounds, it has that defense scattered. McQueen taking advantage, getting to her spot.
Matuga dishes it off. Ledger Walker with the finish as Pili hit the court. No whistle. There wasn't a foul call. And Jenna Johnson gets one, though.
Johanna Tedar to get involved offensively. She is looking at a donut in the scoring column. One of the pure shooters as Utah.
Does McQueen get the assist for that? I think she was smiling and thinks that she probably does off her miss. As Neefkins cleaned it up. And that shot just short.
Their offense is so explosive that they can have what is a good game and still be up double digits against a really quality Washington State team.
Pushing tempo, and they make you pay. They spread it out, and it was the spacing that Cammie Etheridge told us she was most concerned about. Utah is unique in that they have so many options, and they give them plenty of room.
But how about 5 players in double figures for Utah?
And for Neefkins, her second double-double of her career. First one this year was back January 22nd against Cal. And she's done it without hitting threes tonight, scoring 0 for 5. That is so uncharacteristic of Neefkins.
She shoots it at 45%. She made 5 threes on Friday, but she is well-rounded. As that time she's going to get called for the foul.
How about 5 of them in the top 25? Oregon, that's a close one with UCLA. That is fun.
This season for Utah where they have made 10 or more. And so when you're facing Utah, as an offense, you know you have got to get hot. Right now they are 21-2. So they have already matched last year's win total and in command here with 4 minutes to go to eclipse that.
Yep, they got hot at the right time last year as Neefkins tries to draw contact. She doesn't get it. Cougs going to push. Ledger Walker.
Oh, what a feed.
Oh, what a feed. You are right. Mercatete, the trail down the lane, and a foul going to be called.
Get 14 points on the board over the next 3:49.
Not giving up on this one.
So physical. They lean on you. They're aggressive. A really excellent team in the top 25. Then you come to Utah, you have to get on a plane at elevation. It's just a tough weekend.
It sure is. Offensive rebound after offensive rebound. The Cougs not giving up the extra effort, giving them extra chances. It'll say out of play. It's going to go the other way. She was one tough player. Just under 2 minutes left in the game. Utah's been hanging on to this 13-point lead for a while. Dasia Young, what a game she's had. 11 points, 3 of 5 behind the arc. Drives it in. She adds to a total. She's got 13.
She has played at a really high level today on this Sunday afternoon.
Palmer. Little weave up top for Utah. Pick and roll there. Johnson gets an assist to Palmer.
That's how you draw it up. That's one of the most basic plays in basketball, and they ran that to perfection.
Ina.
In the RPI, or the net rankings, and 1 at 4. Stanford 4. I mean, that...
Yeah, Coach Roberts didn't want to go there with us.
No, there's a reason. That's because she's the coach and we're the fans of the game, because we can look ahead and they can't, because as you saw with Washington knocking off Stanford, every team in this conference is capable of winning on any given night, and if you don't play well, you're not going to win.
Yep. And you know this too, depth is so crucial when you start to get towards the end of the season. You're heading to tournament time. Depth charts for your team as well to really compete with a team like Utah.
Well, when you have to win for one of the top 4 seeds that get a bye, if you don't have depth and quality depth with a person can go down with an ankle injury and your season is derailed. You have to have your starters be ready, but you have to have capable backups that can come in and provide energy when you have your highest level games 3 games in 4 days.
Yeah, it's certainly so. And we've seen some depth used.
Kemi Etheridge and the Cougs will head back home to host the Oregons coming up. A huge weekend.